Call the member for Ryde.
Thank you very much, Speaker. The electorate of Ryde is one of the most culturally diverse anywhere in this state, in fact, anywhere in the country, and I'm enormously proud of that fact. It's one of the things that makes our place so vibrant. It has some of the best food, it has some of the most ingenious people doing the most impressive and important things with their lives, but it is about the people that makes that cultural diversity so very, very special. And there's been a lot of debate and discussion, not just in this House over the last week, but in fact right around the world in relation to, I should say right around the country, in relation to cultural diversity. And I do want to make a particular mention of our Indian Australian community, and particularly those who live in my electorate of Ryde. We have a very large and fast-growing Indian Australian community. I'm very proud of this community. This is a community who get involved. This is a community who are volunteers. They are people who work hard. They are interested and engaged in their local schools, in making sure we have the best healthcare facilities, in engaging in cultural events. In addition to that, we have a proud legacy in Ryde of celebrating that culture. When I was the Mayor of Ryde, one of my deputy mayors was of Indian origin, the first time in the history that that had ever occurred. We were able to bring events like Holi and Diwali, which now stand as a standard part of the cultural calendar in our local community. And that's why I was disappointed that I didn't have the opportunity to speak on a motion in this place this week to talk about the positive contributions that Indian Australians make to our state. Because, of course, this is something that all of us, in a bipartisan way, in a unifying way, should have been able to speak about, and that I wasn't able to do that was disappointing, and is the reason I'm speaking in this private member statement this evening. But of course, the impetus for that motion was some, and I'll be frank, disappointing and abhorrent comments that were made by Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price, who is a senator in the federal parliament. We can't talk about the diversity and the positive aspects of multiculturalism and the events of last week without acknowledging that elephant in the room. And I wanted to do that this evening on behalf of my community, but also from a place of my own personal views. I think that we as community leaders have an obligation to set a high standard when it comes to inclusivity, to embracing cultural diversity and all the good things that come about it. Not just because we should, but because it actually breeds positive results in our community. We'll have better jobs, we'll have better communities, we'll have a safer environment, we will have more opportunities for future generations, and we will continue to be a place that welcomes people no matter where they come from or how long they've been here. But what really struck me and disappointed me was the inability over the course of the last week or so for the senator in question to apologise. And I want to say and put on the record that I am sorry. I'm sorry that people were forced to feel as though they were somehow lesser than other people because of where they came from. That is not an acceptable thing to have happen in this country. It's particularly not an acceptable thing to have happen from an elected leader in this country. I think if they are not sincerely held views, then it shouldn't mean anything to simply come out and to apologise. But if they are sincerely held views, then I think one needs to ask themselves whether they can credibly be a member of a major political party of government in this country. And I say that because, and I don't care if it's the Liberal Party, I don't care if it's the Labor Party, I think if you want to govern in this country, you have to be able to govern for all Australians. And it shouldn't matter where they're from, it shouldn't matter how long they've been here. It's about making sure that we are inclusive, that we respect one another, that we embrace diversity, and that we are always looking forward to a better, more vibrant and culturally diverse future. That's what I'm about in Ryde. I know that's what many of my colleagues on this side of the House are about in their electorates. I know that's what many members on the government benches are about, including yourself, Madam Speaker. I know you are an advocate for your culturally diverse community as well. That's what we should all be about. And here in the New South Wales Parliament, I think we have served ourselves with distinction this week by choosing to unify and come together under that particular set of values and with that particular cause in mind. We should do more of it because this place at its best can be a unifying force. It was a shame that that wasn't on display over the course of the last week by some in the federal parliament. I wanted to call that out and use this opportunity to once again say that whilst I am sorry, I am with you and I hope we can all do better.